Everybody, I just found out the background music. I can have background music. Look at this one. This one here is called Dance Off. This one here is called Night Driving. If you are night driving, you have this music on in the background, trust me, it's not going to end well for you. If I'm the one driving you. Hey, everybody, this is Alive, all about the fundamentals of dog training, foundation. And it doesn't matter if you're training your family pet or if you're training your agility dog. There's something for everybody in today's live. And we're going to start off by, I would love to, oh, you guys are ahead of me. Know where you're from. We got Albuquerque, BC, Canada, Oakville, Holly, we're practically neighbors. Maine, Spain. Allison doesn't say where she's from, but I know for a fact it's Australia. And I'd like you to answer this question. And if you've got 5 reasons, Lisbon, put 5 reasons. What are the top 3 reasons that we both that we train our dogs? I don't know why I can't spell. What are the top 3 reasons why we train our dogs? The top 3 reasons why we train our dogs. That's what I wanted it to say. So, what are the top 3 reasons why we train our dogs? Like, why do you train a dog? Why do you want your dog to be quote unquote trained? Sherry, how are you? Gilali. That's a beautiful name from Italy, but I probably just butchered it. Brockville. That's super close to where Kim lives. Happiness, number 1. Safety. Okay, TJ Harvey said safety. Guess what? That was my number 1 as well. I had to think about this. Hello from Romania. From Herefordshire, England. I think I don't get that one. Okay, here's somebody put 3. Relationship, safety, saved my life. Oh, that's beautiful, Raylan. In a different, I had two of the 3 were similar to mine. Ooh, those were 2 of my 3 right there. 2 of my 3. And mine aren't right. This is a personal thing. Why do we want to train a dog? What are the top 3 reasons for you personally you would want them to train? What you would want to train a dog? That was my 3rd. To have a great connection. Alicia got it too. So I'm like everybody would have a different reason for this, but in the big scheme of things, we want to train a dog. I think if we boil it down, if we really think about it, everybody's number 1 is probably safety, right? Because when we get a dog, we will have expected veterinarian expenses and unexpected veterinarian expenses. So expected are things like, yes, we do our annual physical because, well, my dog Momentum right now is down in Maryland getting a complete physical exam by one of the top 2 orthopedic specialists in canine orthopedic specialists in the world, because this is her 3rd time down there. I just want to make sure, as a dog who's approaching 9 years old, that she is still okay to continue to do agility with. And so, we have expected and unexpected veterinarian expenses. The expected are things we can save for. Pet insurance. I'm going to give a shout out for pet insurance right now. Every one of my dogs has pet insurance. Those are expected veterinary expenses. The unexpected veterinary expenses divide into 2 categories: avoidable and unavoidable. And avoidable veterinary pet expenses, we want to avoid them not only because we want to save our money, but also because we want our dogs to have to go to the veterinarian. Not that, no disrespect to veterinarians, but you don't want to see us either, right? You want dogs to live happy, joyful, healthy lives at home. So the avoidable veterinary expenses are things, that's why we train. That is the number one reason we train. We train our dogs so that they don't get into the garbage and eat something and have a pancreatitis. We train our dogs so they don't go chasing something across the road and, tangle with a car or a motor scooter or something. We train our dogs so that if there is a dog coming towards them, we can recall them away, call them to us for safety. So I think for all of us, safety is probably number one, right? So here is a unexpected but unavoidable, right? So those things, we do our best, but things definitely come up. So it's a personal thing, but unfortunately, sometimes dog training is like health and fitness. What is the old saying? A healthy man or woman has 1,000 wishes. A unhealthy or sick man or woman has but one. And that's so true of any one of you have ever had a dog who is not well. And if you currently have a dog who's not well, I'm sending you a big old hug right here through Cyberland, because we've all been there. We don't want our dogs to be there. And that is the number one reason why we all should say training is an investment to make sure the long list of avoidable veterinarian expenses are not a problem for us. Oh, mic problem? Yes, indeed. At 8 minutes, I was going to put my mic on and I forgot to do it. And now you guys can't hear me. I don't even have to read that note because I knew that that's probably what the note was going to say. Is that what it says? Oh, no, it's not what it's going to say. But I'm putting on my microphone and I'm going to put on the super good microphone now. There, that should be better. Okay, Allison, you are my AV girl. That was good, but this should be better. I'm counting on this being better. So we train our dogs for safety, number one. Now, what's our 2 or 3 or 4 or 5? So for me, it doesn't matter what order it goes in. So for me, my number 2 is to protect and grow my dog's confidence. Because wherever they're starting, some of you may have a rescue dog that's a little bit worried or fearful. Myself, I had a perfectly healthy puppy when I got this. I bred her, but as she got older, she got more fearful, more anxiety, more problems. I did the best that I could to grow that confidence for her life. This mic is worse. Oh. So it was better, really? It was better before I put this on? Hold on. Wait a minute here. There's a button on. Don't want that on. All right. You know what? I'm gonna go back to the old mic. If you guys say it was better before. Okay, clear either way. We're going ahead with it. But I don't like that there's a red light on that because that's a little disturbing. I'm gonna turn that. Hold on, I'll be with you. Hold on. Let me put this one on. There we go. Look at that. So safety, number 1. Number 2, protect and grow confidence. So, if you think of traditional dog training, what are the things that they tell you to do? What are we going to train our dogs to do in traditional dog training? Just write them in the comments for me. What are the focuses we're going to have for our dog when we go to any kind of a dog training school? I would say probably, and it is evolving. People are kind of catching up. But if you were saying, yeah, okay, Donna, I think you nailed it. Sit down, stay, heel, recall, obedience. Those are. I mean, there's a lot of really progressive schools out there, but traditionally, it's sit down, stay, come, right, and heel. Those are the biggies. And so we want to think about growing confidence. What does that look like? Is a sit, a down, a stay, a heel, a come growing confidence? Or is it the training that happens at the dogs? If our focus of, if you join my live on Sunday morning and I talked about gifting training to our dogs because it helps them have a fuller and more enriched life, which in turn allows us to have a fuller and more enriched life. And so if you think of training that way, at no time would the top of mind things be sit and down and heel. Can you get the terrier's having a little party of one on my couch? So those aren't the things that, if I was going to grow and protect and grow confidence, that isn't. But there are things, and for us, it's always games that grow the dog's confidence. I'll talk about what that looks like later on the live today. I just wanted you to think about training as a 30,000 foot view. Why do we do it? Keep our dogs safe, grow their confidence, protect what's there, and grow it more. And the number 3 reason is to, on an ongoing way, to deepen the connection that my dog has with me. Or truthfully, deepen the connection with the dog that the dog has with all of the people that they need to interact with in your life, in your home. That's super important. You might have kids that it's really important that they deepen the connection with those children. Okay, I got another question for you. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I think this is it right here. Well, I'm going to read this question and then I'm going to give away some prizes. I've got some really cool prizes to give away today. Okay, what would you tell a new puppy or rescue dog owner if they asked how long it would take until their dog is trained? If I do this dog training stuff, like how long is it going to take until my dog's trained? I bet you most of us, wherever we are in our dog training journey, I bet most of us asked this question at one point. I'm pretty sure I did. All right, I'll go to this class, but will my dog be trained at the end of the 8 weeks? So, there we go. Lisha, dogs need to be trained for life. It never ends, right? As long as it takes their whole life. Raylan, dog training is for the life of the dog. It never stops. There's always something to learn. So true. But how many of you, be honest, are like me, that when you started or when you got your first dog and decided that you were going to train your dog, wondered how long would it take? Or asked some question that was similar to that? How many? Put it in the comments if that was you, because I know it was me. Back when I first started, I was like, okay, I got these behaviors. The very first dog I trained wasn't even my own, actually. As a teenager, I trained a lot of other people's dogs. I didn't actually get my own dog till I was in my late 20s. But I started training dogs as a very young teenager, right? So some of you were like me. Yes, Sue admits it. She was like me too, that we wondered how long was it going to take? And now we recognize, like, if we didn't call it dog training, if we called it creating safety, growing confidence, and deepening connection, that's what we called it instead, would we want it to end? I want this connection shit to stop with this dog. Of course not. It's ongoing. We love our dogs, right? You guys are here because you feel about your dog the way I feel about my dogs. That growing connection isn't, oh yeah, we've done that stuff, now I can stop. Unfortunately, when you get an appliance and sometimes if it's an electronic, there's some programming to do. There's some, I said a bad word, didn't I? Oops. There's like, you have to program the electronics. You have to set it up. You might have to put in the date. You might have to there's some stuff to do to get the appliance running right. And then if it's a refrigerator, you have to get the temperatures right. That might take a week or two. A lot of times when I meet people like at a business meeting, and they have a different type of relationship with their dogs than I have with mine, and that's what they think. They think that dogs are like this appliance that when I need it, it'll keep my beer cold. But when I'm busy, I don't have to give it the time of day. And unfortunately, they believe dogs should be trained, and then their hands are clean. Then the dog will just be there for like every third week. I feel like going for a hike. Yeah. Now I like the dog. And but if you really think of training not as training, but as creating safety and growing confidence and deepening connection, then it's how can I keep growing my understanding? How can I look at dog training a different way? Some of you, I know, I recognize some of the names on here. You've been in my programs for a very, very long time. So you know this about me. The programs are never the same. People say, why does she keep changing things? Because I come upon one idea, and then I look at it from the dog's point of view. Can we get it taught easier, faster, more engaging, more buy-in, easier for the person? So a 4-year-old can go through this program with the dog. Like, that's what it's like to have this burning desire to want to deepen connection with dogs. And that's what training is about. All right, I think it's time I give away a prize. So first prize, I'm going to give away another Shaped by Dog mug from the great people at For My Merles. So how are you going to get this? We'll give it away. We'll post it on our webpage tomorrow on this live. Share this live, because I think that message of safety, confidence, and connection is a good one for every dog owner to hear, right? And so if you share this live on anywhere in social media, they don't call it Twitter anymore, do they? What do they call it? X. They call it X. What's wrong with that? Share it on Facebook, on Instagram, share it on TikTok, share it anywhere, and then come on back here in the comments and let us know where you shared it. And my team will randomly pick somebody, and we will let you. You're going to get a mug, and it doesn't have to be pink. Although you might have happened to notice, I probably should have worn a different color because this clashes a little bit. All right. I'm also going to give away right now. Yesterday on the live, it was all about gifting, and I did something for the first time ever. I said I'm going to give away some of our courses. Never have we ever done this before, and we are going to track the winners to see how they did on the course. When it was gifted, was it as meaningful to you? And so if one of you who wins already has the course you're winning, you can gift it forward to somebody else. I think somebody like a junior handler or a pensioner or somebody who couldn't otherwise afford it would be great, but it's totally up to you. All right. So I'm gonna share with you the first winner from yesterday. Let me just do here. This is a winner, Maya Eoff. You won a 4-month registration to homeschool the dog. Boom. Right. I think that sells for $290 something on our website, although it is our cyber event this week. So it is available to everybody until midnight today at $49 it's almost $300 on our website. So let's have some hearts for Maya. Woo, woo, woo. Congratulations. And that was for sharing. And another share winner of the Shaped by Dog thermos in the color of your choice. That is Michelle Zamore. I hope I got that right. That's not as attractive a color as this one. I think this one's better, right? Here we go. Look at that. Okay, I'm getting carried away here. All right, now the big winner. And I'm going to read the gem. We're giving away registration in Recallers for 1 full year. And so this is the big winner. And I'm going to remove myself so I can. Okay, I guess I have to do it this way. So I was reading away the quote and congratulating Mary Mullet on this, but I love what Mary wrote. So this is a quote that I said yesterday. And then Mary said, when we shared this quote, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And that's a great quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer, actually, that I love that quote myself. Thinking about giving and gifting your dog training skills is a wonderful reframe on the word training and will set you and your dog up for beloved time together. Let's learn together. Let's give and receive with one another. Let's find our rhythm and enjoy the learning. I love it. I'm going to say it to myself before I train every day. Let's find the gift of learning together. Thank you, Susan, for this gem. And thank you, Mary, for wording it so beautifully in a gem. And you, my friend, win recallers. So woo, woo, woo. Swagger is now playing by himself. He's happy for you too, Mary. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a beautiful gem. I think it's really, really well written to say that this is how we're going to talk about training. This is how we're going to think about training. All right. So fundamentals. We talked about what traditionally were fundamentals, right? And in the sit, the down, the stay, the heel, the come. We do that training to our dog. We want buy-in from our dogs. Is B still up here or is she gone downstairs? So I'm gonna bring Belief in. She's been bouncing around out here. I'm just gonna show you a little bit of fundamentals that that we would do. And so the fundamentals, when we think about safety and we think about confidence, growing confidence, and we think about connection, then there are certain things that we want from our dogs and we want buy-in. So if you want the dog to sit, we teach sit through a game. So I'm not going to even tell her to sit. I'm going to play a game and I'm going to see what she offers after. I'm going to have to close the crate. So because she's going to probably want to go in the crate because she just loves crate games. All right. So I'm going to go on to back camera. There we go. Oh, and we've got little terrier Belief. Belief is half Staffordshire Bull Terrier and 1/4 Border Collie and 1/4 Papillon. Can I have that? Thank you. Swagger, do you want to hop it up there? Okay. Strike. Okay, so I'm playing with her. Mine, thank you. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to wait. And what does she do? Barks. All right, so that's one thing different. Missy, strike. Go down here. Thank you. Strike. So if I wanted to teach my dog to down, I could do it now quite easily. Mine. Strike. So she offers it. Now she knows that word, but I'm just showing you, we can get those behaviors without having to, get a cookie out and put the cookie to the ground and come here, side. So break. Get that out of the way. Side. So if I wanted her side to walk beside me, if I was going down the street on my knee side, good. Then there's value for this. So this is kind of the fundamentals that we want the dogs to know, that if I put my hand out, I want you to, are you going to steal my cookies? Cook, right? So there's little games, and in the games, kennel, break, cook, hep it up, good, cook. So these are all either building connection, creating safety, or growing confidence. Every single game that we play with these dogs. Strike. Yeah, good. Mine. Good job. Okay, here you go. Cook. Search. Nice. So why would I care about those games? Because they take me to what are fundamentals for what I want for my dogs. Number one, the first important thing is I want my dog to know their name. That's part of safety, growing confidence, and creating connection, is that they know their name. And so in all of our online programs, we have like this critical core, we call it, of things that we need those dogs to know. That they know don't steal the cookie. They know certain words mean you're getting a toy. So I put the tug toy right in front of her face. This could have been a bunny running across the road. Now, I would never say go chase the bunny, but there was a time when I had Jack Russells that I would let them chase the squirrels because I knew I could call them off and they would never get near the squirrels, right? So I put this right near her face and she wanted it. She loves that toy and she knows to wait till the word, boom. So those are things that we want our dogs to have, what people call self-control. And I really don't like that word. What I want is a dog who has been raised, is so connected with me that they want what I want. Yeah, it would be fun to play with that toy, but I want to play with that toy when you say I can play with that toy. So then we have this connection together. So all of the training that you do, yeah, eventually you can get a sit and a down, and what other people call a heel, I just called side or close, wherever I wanted her to be. Let me just go back and I'll do a little demo with her on the side or the close. All right, so come here, B. Close. Good. I have an extra dog here. Monk, can you hub it up, please? Side. Good. Cook. Side. So I'm not like luring her somewhere to go into a position. Close. I'm just asking her with me. Good. So you can come close. I'm just asking her. And if I was walking down the street, if I had a leash on, close. Good. And if I see a dog walking on this side, I would go side. So now the dog can walk by and search. And she happily changes sides. Yeah, that's functional. That's connection. That's a dog wanting what I want. And that keeps the dog safe. Because if I'm walking down a street, I might not, like the chances are I wouldn't know the dog coming towards me. So just to be safe, keep my dog safe, I just change over to the other side. If I'm walking I'm not going to have my dog walk right. I will always help them protect and grow confidence. So I'm going to put myself between that dog and as we're walking. So the fundamentals, whether and this is a big spoiler alert for any of you who want to do agility. People think the fundamentals of agility are my dog needs to know how to do weave pulls and my dog needs to do a seesaw. Fundamentals of agility are the same as the fundamentals of a great family pet. That we're going to keep our dogs safe, we're going to grow their confidence, and we're going to deepen that connection. So what that looks like for my family pet is exactly the same as it looks like for dog agility. So number one, I want my dog to have multiple reinforcements. Now, when I went to my first ever traditional dog training class, they didn't tell me, oh, you should have all different reinforcements. You should have different values that you use. You should have some food that are high value, some food that are moderate value. You should have some food, or you should have toys that are tug toys that are you can throw easy, toys that maybe drag on the ground. So all different multiple reinforcements. That's the first thing that I teach all of my, whether it's a rescue dog that I brought in the house or it's a puppy that I'm bringing in the house. And that's one of the very first things that we help our students with. And then we give them specific words that mean strike means take the toy from my hand. Bring means take the toy from the ground. Cook means I'm going to give you a cookie. So there's location specific markers. So that helps grow their understanding so that they are now, oh yeah, the reward's coming and here's where it's going to come from. So after we teach value for the dog's name, we want value for every little human being that's in that house. So there are games that connect each human, even if it's like my spouse was not crazy about wanting to train the dogs, but I could bring him in on the games and give him roles that the dogs now listen to him, especially at a time of emergency, because they have this rehearsal of I can earn high value rewards by doing one of these games with him. And you do the same thing with kids. And then what I said, side and close, that's just reinforcement zone. That is, where do the big rewards happen? For my dogs, the big rewards happen in one of, 3 big places. So at my side or driving to something. So crate is number 1. Or as I said, hup it up, it would be a dog bed would be number 2. So driving to something, at my side, in a crate, those are the things that I really want my dogs to have value for. So dog training should be about growing that value to things that are important. And if you love agility and you think you'd like to try that, now we want the dog to follow your body in different ways. Once they know how to move, because agility is all about handling. As a handler guiding the dog, you are the GPS that gives the cues, that tells the dogs how to get around the course. We've got to get you working those cues, and it's just growing the value to, drive to something, value for something. And so it's exactly the same fundamentals. The problem I see, I mentioned last week I was at the US Open, and I saw so many people struggling because they weren't a great GPS for their dogs, because they focused too much on the things, on the dog walk, on the seesaw, on the weave poles. They didn't focus on the most important thing, the space between the things. And that's what we teach in our Handling 360 program. Okay, I'm getting a little bit crazy. I'm getting carried away. But the biggest thing, once we teach the dog where to have value, this is where so many people let you down. You need to then generalize all of that good behavior. Come into side, come into close, touch my hand, play the games when there's distractions. And how do we do that? Is we take a smaller level distraction. Like I could put my cookies in a bowl on the floor and ask my dog to tug or come into side or close. We want to inoculate the dog so that distractions become white noise. If they're not important, I don't look at them because I have that connection. Distractions become white noise. That's what you need to write down. How can I help my dog's distractions to be the white noise in their life? And you can do it by growing that connection and growing that confidence in the things you want them to do, right? So I hope this is making sense. And what happens is there might be like big distractions. So like walking by a rock with a puppy, the puppy might go, whoa, but it doesn't take long before your puppy's like, yeah, I'm over that. It's not a big deal. But there will be big distractions that they don't get over, like a speeding cyclist, a skateboarder, another dog on leash. And so what we need is we need ways to meet our dog in their high state of arousal and give them positive interrupters. So if a dog says, oh, there's a dog, and you go, oh, I got a cookie, they may go turn away and go, oh yeah, I could take that cookie, but there's a very good chance they won't. But if you have in your arsenal these games that the dog will go, oh yeah, I love that game with you. It's far, far more likely that the things that they go, what? Are going to become very, very unimportant. That's how we help you turn all of the big distractions into white noise, regardless if you just want an amazing family pet or if it's just an agility dog of your dreams that you're looking for. It's all the same. It starts off basic, and then we're generalizing good behavior, minimizing distraction, growing focus for the drive to or the drive with me. Let me know if all of that was just too overwhelming or if it kind of made sense to you. So that I was trying to, like, how we can get the dogs to do things in a stale environment, like in your kitchen. But how can we get dogs to make these good decisions in motion, like at the park? Do you remember what was that dog from England chasing all the deer? Like, how do we get Fenton? How do we get Fenton, who sees all the deer and all the deer say, we have to get to Fenton before he gets a chance, because once Fenton sees all those deer and is running, if we haven't built in the positive interrupter games, Fenton's gone. Because if you say, Fenton, Mama's got a cookie, I'll be right back for the cookies because I see something a lot more fun. But when we have all of these games that are positive interrupters, Fenton sees the deer and go, oh yeah, I love that game. Oh yeah, I can go back. And so the likelihood of a Fenton episode ever happening is minimized. And Fenton, although it looked kind of funny, it was dangerous for all those deer. It was dangerous for Fenton. It was dangerous for the people. But I have so many students that say, you saved my dog's life today. Because of recallers, I called my dog easily off a rattlesnake, right? So did we expect to see the rattlesnake? No, but we have the positive interrupter games, the games that the dog goes, boom, I love that. And they'll just come right back to you. All right. So that's what I'm getting at. That's how I hope this all makes sense to you. And that's what I really, and why am I doing this live today? Because it's the final day of our cyber event. And as I mentioned, on every single cyber event, I do not want to sell you. I want you to say, this lady makes sense. She is my people. I'd like to hang out with her and her coaches for a year. I'd like to learn how I can be that for my dog, because all of us, where you are today is an accumulation of all the things you've tried so far. And if you look at where you are today versus where you were last month in your dog training, in your overcoming your challenges with your dogs, with your dog's ability to walk on a loose leash in an extremely stimulating environment, with your dog's drive to want to be with you in the sport of dog agility, your dog's drive to want to be with you when there's any kind of a distraction around. So how was it last month compared to today? How much has it improved? If it hasn't really improved or hasn't improved in the way you want, then try one of our programs, because I promise you where you will be in 2 weeks is dramatically further ahead than where you were last month. I promise you that. And I will guarantee it that if you're not, I'll give you 100% of your money back. And if you go to our registration page, which is dogsthat.com/cyber, you will see all of the programs. And if you are in doubt, there's a video where to start. I encourage you all to start at recallers if you have some foundational dog training problems that you're trying to work through. If you've worked through that and you go, I really would love to take a handling or agility course, but I think it's a little overwhelming, then jump into our Handling 360, because it is it's the only program that takes you from start to the very end, to running courses all in one program. It's all there for you. So go to dogsthat.com/cyber if you're interested. And again, it's not about me. I don't want to sell you, because I want you to want to be there. And that's why our communities are so great, because it's filled with people that they know they want to train this way. They know they want that for their dogs. All right, I'm here to answer some questions now. Do you have any for me? And there are installment plans for any of our programs. If it's too big of an investment to do at one time, absolutely, you can join with an installment plan. How many commands, cues, sounds does your dog understand while interacting with you in training and in competing? My dogs have a lot. Because I just have fun, they learn them through their whole life pretty much. How many? Probably 60 or more, 70. I'm guessing. I honestly don't know. I've never added up. What's my criteria for with me? It depends. If I have a leash on, I just don't want the leash to get taunt. And if I don't have a leash on, an arm's distance away. Is Handling 360 a year-long course? Yes, it is a year-long course. And then at the end of that year, as with all of our courses, we have an opportunity for you to stay as long as you want, either monthly or for a year at a time. Does Crate Games ever go on sale? I know it's inexpensive. Some of my students have empty-ish wallets. It doesn't, because I don't want to disrespect the people who are selling it on their websites. So there are people who, like Dogwise and Clean Run and some bookstores that sell Crate Games. And so I don't want to, if they have their community are investing a certain amount of money in the program, I don't want to disrespect that and have that go on to make it less than. Okay, so Ray Lynn says Jake understands 100, right? So how do I transition a giant breed to a harness? Just by conditioning it. Yeah, just by conditioning the dog to want to get the harness on slowly. Installment can't make it until after 12/1, but yes, I know. You know what? Max or Ruby, if it's Max or if it's Ruby or if it's the human person that you live with that I'm talking to, if it's ever a problem, you contact the team at wag@dogset.com. And we want anybody who is keen to grow their confidence and safety and connection with their dog, if they want in one of our programs, and we are going to bend over backwards to make that happen for you. Okay. If I gift homeschool the dog, can they upgrade to recolors? Absolutely. That and that's lovely. If you gift homeschool the dog, then we're going to make sure that they get what they need and what they want. Am I supposed to be progressing a lesson per week? Here's the cool thing about all of our programs: Handling 360, Recolors, Homeschool the Dog. We encourage people to progress at their own pace. So you might have like a wedding, bar mitzvah. We all have the holidays coming up in the next month. So you may get more work done in that period because you have some time off, or you may get less in. So we encourage people to go at your own pace. And the really neat thing about being in our programs is our coaches live all over the world. Every single time zone in the world, I'm pretty sure at this point, we've got covered. And so it's rare that anybody has to wait for answers. What do I think of Fluent Pet? I think it's a fun thing to train the dog to do. I mean, I've played around with it, but I just love teaching behavior. A lot of time, the Fluent Pet is an interpretation. right? I mean, I'm not discrediting it, but it's an interpretation of the button pushes. How do we really know what our dogs know? I don't know what my dog knows for real. I have a really good idea, but we can't be sure. The coaches are awesome. Thank you, Allison. Robin says literally the most robust support staff ever. I think we've got the most amazing team of coaches that you will ever find. They genuinely not only feel passionate about dogs, they love people, which is such a great combination. Okay, hard time getting my pup to leave my senior dog alone. Would a leave it command work? No, because your dog doesn't understand what leave it means. So I would say getting in a program that provides enrichment and engagement for your other dog. And then you are the protector of your senior dog. So, but you don't want to punish the younger dog because they don't know differently. We have to help them. Michelle says coaching team and staff and team are so amazing. You won't find that kind of help and authentic awesomeness anywhere. I agree for sure. How far ahead do you plan at a time? I like to have a clear plan, but I struggle because the pace of progress depends so much on how clear I am making it for my dog. So in our programs, we have lesson sheets that, I mean, you watch a video, you download your lesson sheet, or if you like it on your tablet or your iPhone, or your phone, you just take that with you. And so the plans are all done for you. So me personally, I have with my own dogs, I work through the same programs. And so with recallers, I know I've got the list of games. I actually know the games, so I don't have to print them out. And so I'll play several of them every day with my puppy on a rotational basis because he's pretty much gone through them all right now. So that's my plan. And I do the same thing with agility. Yes, there is a smaller version of crate games within recallers. Absolutely. Caitlin says, just want to say thank you to the amazing Dogsat team for helping me make the best decisions for my dog. And I purchased H360 today. Start when I make it through recallers. Caitlin, happy that you've made that decision. And I promise you, it is the absolute best way that you're going to tackle all of the skills needed for agility. So welcome aboard. I think you're going to have a blast. Just started homeschool the dog, fantastic program, and always a person to help when needed. Thank you. Will appreciate signing up for another course, but not until homeschool the dog is complete. Purchase now with cyber discount. Angie, if you just join Homeschool the Dog, we will take care of you. So don't feel rushed. You get through Homeschool the Dog, and if you're then ready for recallers, we're going to make sure that you get in recallers because, we want you to be like me, constantly growing that connection and that confidence in your dog. So I don't want you to feel that you have to do everything all at once. Alicia, I have Homeschool the Dog, pedicure, please, and crate games. Giving you a big heart there, my friend. Saving up for recallers. Can't recommend it enough. Thank you. Do you think positive only training is possible for everything, especially in aggressive cases and in the Schutzhund sport? I absolutely 100% do. I do believe that reinforcement-based dog training is the way of the future. I believe I don't know when it's going to happen, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I don't think it's going to take much longer than that for the world to not see anything but strategies of reinforcement-based programs in every walk of life. I mean, in the sport of dog agility, it is rare now that, there's still people who use some forms of timeouts, or punishment. But when I started back in the late 80s, it was corrections and punishment was prevalent through all of agility. And I'll give you a little bit of a history. When I started teaching seminars, people wanted me to come in and teach what I knew about seminars. And I said, I will teach an agility seminar, but you first must have 1 day of foundational reinforcement-based dog training for life. I called it Advances in Dog Training. And I taught that program all over the world, hundreds of days a year. And so there was no online learning back then. And slowly but surely, the sport of agility, it's predominantly reinforcement based. And there's always justifications in other sports. They'll look at agility and say, oh, that's because dogs just love jumps, and so it's okay, you can do it that way. I think it's easy to justify it, but it would be better to ask the questions of, if I could do it this way in my sport, then what would that look like? And absolutely, in aggression cases, there's no, if aggression is fire, would you put out fire with gasoline? Because that's what adding punishment is to aggression. It's an emotion. It's not a conscious thought. It's an emotion. It's an emotional outburst. And you can't punish that and expect you're going to get long-term results that change the emotional state of the dog to want to make better choices down the road. So thank you for that question. Do you have people who train the way you do in person? Absolutely. A lot. I can't tell you the number of people who came through recallers and stayed in recallers for years and years and years and just learned the program so well that they started like, I'm just going to teach my neighbor, and then I'm just going to teach a few people at the park. The number of people who are now full-time dog trainers that started in recallers, or even Handling 360, actually, it's huge. So yes, there are people who teach in person. Okay. I'm afraid to purchase a program as my young pointer is so difficult to keep focus on me. I will feel more frustrated and failure. Okay. I encourage you to purchase the program and remind you that you've got a parachute of safety, and that I've stated here, if you purchase any of our programs, you have a guarantee. You try it. Hello, my friend. Hi. You try it, and every program has got at least a week or 2 weeks that you can try it, download it, see if you see any change. Here's the way to measure it, guys. People might come into our program and say, my dog steals food from the counter. I've been in here a week and my dog steals food from the counter still. You took 8 years to develop the stealing food from the counter skill to the level of excellence you have it now. You can't expect us to alter that in 1 week. But what you can expect to see in 1 week, an absolutely definite change in your dog. In 1 week, you will see your dog focus for you change. You will see the dog curiosity about your training change, because you're coming about your training from a place of giving the dog autonomy. You're saying, I need you on board before we can progress this training. And that's why with your pointer, I love pointers. And you say it's a young pointer. Oh my gosh. Ruthie, my friend Ruthie, when I first met her, she had a young pointer named Emma. I get it. It's difficult now. And I promise you that if you join recallers, I promise you this dog will be a changed dog. All right. So I want you to write into the team and let us talk to you if you're still on the fence and unsure, because I want you to make a decision tonight. Well, because after tonight, all of our programming goes back up to regular pricing. I want you to make a decision of it's a hell yes, or it's I'm not too afraid. I can't do it. I want you to make a definite decision tonight. Don't just wait on it, because that's just putting off a decision. And I promise you, if it's a hell yes, you won't be disappointed. But right into the team. And if you, whatever program you join, you tell me in the welcome, hi, I'm the one with the young pointer. Any tips for a 6-month-old puppies going through fear period? Yes. Grow confidence. Remember the 3 things we want training to do? Number 1, keep our dogs safe. Number 2, protect and grow confidence. So that may sound like a catch-all, but training that involves a leash pop is not protecting confidence, and it definitely isn't growing confidence. Training that doesn't provide clear choice for the dog is unlikely to be growing confidence. So you need a methodology that you are 100% growing that dog's confidence. I don't have access to an indoor arena. How much time should I allow for the fundamentals before I access outdoor agility equipment in the spring and the summer? We're in recolors now. Okay. This is the cool thing about Handling 360. The first 3 classroom. Now, depending on how big your home is or your apartment, like you can do a lot of this in a small area, like that little area that I was training in. I could do a lot of Handling 360 in that area. So a ton of it can be done inside. So the first 2 classrooms, not a problem. You can do it all inside. The second classroom, if you have a small area outside in your backyard, you really don't need a big, like to rent an agility field or go somewhere where they have agility equipment until the later in the 3rd and the 4th classroom. So yeah, that is not a problem. Okay, question. I'm in recolors and I love it. Should I play each game in different environments first before progressing to new games, or should I progress and play new games along the way? Yes, Kirsten. Yes. So we want a mix of both. So what I like to do, there's always going to be games that one of my, like whatever dog I'm playing, they're better at some games and they are like they're stars as soon as we play one game, but they're not as great at the others. And so I will have games that are reinforcing for me to play and reinforcing for the dog to play, games that we have to buff up and games that are new. So I'll just play the ones that we're trying to grow in the new environments. The games that are brand new, I just do them in the environments that they're used to. And the games that they're stars, then I'll go out to brand new distraction, brand new environments and do those. So it's a little bit of all of it. Okay. How far out can we gift? By that, I mean, I can request to not start until February 1st. I want to give homeschool the dog to my daughter, but Christmas and the fact that she's moving sometime next month and adjusting, she might not be able to do it. Kristen, please write us at wag@dogzat.com, and we're going to come up with a solution that's going to be best for you and your daughter. Okay. Wow, a lot of comments. Holy smokes, guys. Thank you. Great question, Megan. How do we get environmental neutrality without using negative reinforcement? So that is a great question. And the question is, what is the negative reinforcement discomfort to the dog? And if it is, we don't use it. Right? So taking a dog off a leash is negative reinforcement. I'm getting a little bit science and geeky here, so I apologize. This is a bit much that you tuned in for, but I think the question is, how do we get environmental neutrality without causing emotional or physical discomfort to the dog? That's what we're asking. And in the answer is through games, through layers of games that the dog loves to play, and patience on your part. Okay. Crystal writes, actually made a video 6 months ago into recolors where the program saved both my dogs' life from a rattlesnake. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Crystal. I would be happy to reshare that video saying thank you to Garrett for saving my dogs. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you. I love that. I'm going to share a little video with you guys. I'll share a couple of some of our, I probably have recolors on here for sure. And I know that we have, yeah. So here is, and I may have played this before. This is Clara one of our European students who lives in a small town that has got feral cats everywhere. And her dog Jessie was crazy, crazy, crazy cat chaser. And this was after. So that's environmental neutrality created through games. That's it in a nutshell, right? So we have so many different stories. That's a story of a cat chaser. We've got many stories of a cat chaser. We have, stories of behavior challenges. And I'm not promising every single behavior challenge is going to be solved with recallers, but I will promise every single behavior challenge will be in a better place because of recallers. But this is another favorite of mine. This is Maddie, a dog who chased shadow.
A few years ago, recallers gave me the tools to deal with her abnormal repetitive behaviour of light chasing.
And so
Lupin respects Maddie and gives her the space she needs. Thanks.
So now Maddie can be anywhere where there's shadows. She had to stay inside because she was so obsessed with shadows. So those are just a couple. If you go to dogsat.com/cyber, you'll see so many stories from our students of situations that they were in, how hopeless they felt, the path was not leading them where they wanted to be, that they were feeling bad because their dog wasn't leading the kind of life they wanted them to have, or that they were struggling to even have any quality of life with their dog. They were thinking of giving the dog up. So many stories of that. I participated in a BH exam where a female in heat went in before my male. We had a lot of trouble with him sniffing where she was. Can crate games help get us more focused in these situations? I don't know that crate games alone, because I don't know. I mean, will crate games help your dog make decisions? Absolutely. Will crate games help your dog ignore some distractions? Absolutely. But that's a pretty big ask. I don't want to promise you that crate games alone is going to have your intact male turn off of females. Is it possible to inspire a male dog to ignore a female dog? Absolutely. But is crate games alone going to be what gets it for you? I think it'll help get it better, but I don't want to promise you that it's going to fix it. I am drinking Swagger. I'm not saying goodbye to anybody. Okay. Any other questions for me? If not, I'm going to say goodbye. And just remind you that I encourage you to just make a decision tonight, like an active decision, because our big cyber event is over at midnight tonight. And I would love to have you as part of a member of our community. And so would Swagger, right, buddy? And so if there's no more questions, I'm going to sign off. How does he always know? How does he always know that I'm winding it down? Is it a tone of voice? I don't know, but he knows. He always knows. So thanks. Before we go, can we just have some hearts for my team who've just been on every call and helping you guys out, answering questions. So if you would, please just give some hearts to the team and let them feel the love, because I could not do it without them. And thanks to Simone the last 2 days being on here with me. So, and yeah, you're welcome. Holly says, thanks for a weekend of learning. So thank you for being here and participating, to all of you. I've lost Holly. There's Holly there. All right. See you guys. Hopefully the next time we'll be as members of the community, right? We'll see.